So for yourself, how do you stay in it? Were there like days where you just wanted to reset back to the old self because you are, our body is so, and our mind, and it's so resistant to change, and it's so used to controlling us, like being in the seat. And now you're taking over and you're going to meet with that resistance. So how do you combat that resistance and completely take over?
It helps to have an acceptance that there will be times when motivation wanes, where, well, everything changes. That's number one, the acceptance of, what Buddhists call impermanence, is that everything changes. Not that things are changing slowly over time, but everything is completely unstable. There is no stability whatsoever. So just understanding that things are changing always is helpful to understand. Okay, look, I'm a human being. There are going to be times when this ain't easy. It's not always going to. There are going to be times when I'm feeling strong, and there are going to be times when I'm not feeling strong. And I think also, I mean, there are all sorts of things. There are all sorts of things that can be done. I'll give you. How about I'll give an example of when there was nothing I could do. So I was finishing up school. I just finished a master's degree this year in health and wellness coaching. And earlier this year, and I love school. Like I love learning. And the first year of this course of this school I was just in love with it. It was great, having a great time. In January of this year, when I entered, I guess it was my fourth semester of it, I completely lost all motivation. Just gone. Like I didn't hate, but I had no more passion for, all of a sudden I didn't want to coach. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to do, I just didn't, I was just completely over the entire project of academia specifically. I was just burnt out for some reason. And I didn't know why. Like whatever cycle I was in, whatever pattern I was in, I couldn't figure out why it happened. And I couldn't figure out how to get myself out of it. Nothing that I did was making it change. In this example, when I couldn't do anything, and I tried a bunch of different stuff, I just couldn't get out of it. Couldn't get out of this funk. As a lot of other people have said, when motivation comes and goes, great. Motivation was gone. I had to stay committed because, once again, I'm not failing at this. I can't just not turn my assignments, and I can't not do the reading. Commitment and dedication and discipline is really what gets you through. Discipline will see you through your lacks in motivation, because it's a mood. It's a mood that comes and goes. And so that's what I did. Like I'm just doing the work, but it's like eating food that doesn't, kids just can't taste. Just eating food to stay alive. It's just not enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm there right now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And what finally, once again, experimenting, this is the first time I'd ever experienced this before. I'd never experienced this dearth of motivation in something that I loved so much, all of a sudden just gone. What finally worked for me to help me like come out of it was, once again, to accept the fact of it, to accept and be open to this uncomfortable feeling of having zero motivation, and then to trust that this is the good part about impermanence, that the negative things that we experience, they will change if we allow them to change. Like, bro, just let it change. Like, stop fighting it so much. You have no motivation right now. Okay, cool. Just do the work and then let it go. And over time, it will change just like everything else does. And when I had that thought and realization, then it took about 6 weeks, and then boom, I feel it changed. It just changed. Yeah. In about 6 weeks, then it was like, okay, I like school again. Like, what? This is weird. Like there was nothing that I could do. It took me to not do anything, just to let it be what it was. So that was a lesson for me, that sometimes you can't do anything. Sometimes there's nothing to do about it, but practice, continue to do your reps, and discipline will see us through a lot of difficult times when everything else is just kind of seems like it's just bland.
So what do you have for us on what we can do on a daily basis to control the body, control the mind, control the heart? What can we start to do?
I try to steer clear personally of the word control, because the sense of control is one of the things that can lead and exacerbate our suffering. This idea that we can control anything, trying to control, trying to grip, trying to hold on to everything in a sense of controlling things. So we can practice breath work and then practice it to the degree that like it feels like we're we are the one in charge of taking every breath. And if I was in charge of taking every breath, I wouldn't make it out my front door. Like it's, the body does all this stuff on its own. It's incredible. I would say, number one, to be gentle in how we approach these endeavors. Just like you said, to give ourselves grace, give ourselves a lot of understanding of the human condition as we begin to try to grow, like experience growth and experience change, is to give ourselves space just to be human in the process. That's number one. And the second is to get the reps in. So with mindfulness specifically, it's a special kind of awareness. It's not just in the way we use mindful. Be mindful of, the stove on the, and, did you turn it off or not? Like, it's not just being attentive and being aware of something. It's a special kind of attention that we pay in a way that is non-judgmental and allows us to be open to stuff. So it doesn't have to be, a practice doesn't have to be like 60 minutes straight, seated in the lotus position in your room. It can be done in these small moments repetitiously throughout the day. As you're getting in the car, okay, where am I right now? I'm in the car. Am I in the future about where I'm going? Or am I in the car with my hands on the steering wheel, feeling whatever moods I'm feeling, being aware of whatever feelings I'm feeling and letting them happen? Not trying to stifle them or control them. They'll change all on their own if I let them change. So we can do that multiple times. So we can do that all day long. And we come in and out of mindful awareness all day long. And so we can just let the pattern happen and reinforce over time through repetition, 30 seconds of non-judgmental mindful awareness, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at a time. Do this multiple times throughout the day. And then all of a sudden you may find yourself sitting in meditation where 30 minutes feels like a breeze.